All right, so we're gonna play this clip for people, huh, Sam? The Brian Stelter clip. I might
And
also take that moment just to refresh my memory very quickly of it as well. Although I remember it because, yeah. So pretty much Brian Stelter is asked some very fair and relevant questions, and also the examples that the person uses are really spot on. I mean, talk about concrete examples, and then wait till you hear Brian Stelter's response. So I'm gonna edit all of them together, so it's like in a short 2 or 3 minute long video. But believe me, you have to watch it. I think it's taking place at some kind of university, Sam, or maybe in the
yeah,
background it says.
university. I think it was University of Chicago, if I'm not mistaken.
So let's
Yes.
check out what the egg is. That
Wait.
what you is that the nickname you gave him, the egg, or did you have?
Egg, anthropomorphic egg, the egg that is human characteristics. Chicago, University of Chicago. Yeah, egg, descendant of Humpty Dumpty. We discussed this many times.
Yeah, but okay. So let's watch this clip, and then we'll come back and dissect it.
Hi, thank you for coming. My name is Christopher Phillips. I'm a first year at the college. My question is for Mr. Stelter. You've all spoken extensively about Fox News being a purveyor of disinformation, but CNN is right up there with them. They pushed the Russian collusion hoax. They pushed the Jussie Smollett hoax. They smeared Justice Kavanaugh as a rapist, and they also smeared Nick Salmon as a white supremacist. And yes, they dismissed the Hunter Biden laptop affair as pure Russian disinformation. With mainstream corporate journalists becoming little more than apologists and cheerleaders for the regime, is it time to finally declare that the canon of journalistic ethics is dead or no longer operative? All the mistakes of the mainstream media, and CNN in particular, seem to magically all go in one direction. Are we expected to believe that this is all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
Too bad, it's time for lunch.
You have 30 seconds.
No, I mean,
Brian.
there's a clock that says 30 seconds, but I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come over and talk in more detail after this, is that I think you're describing a different channel than the one that I watch. But I understand that is a popular right-wing narrative about CNN. I think it's important when we talk about shared reality and democracy. All these networks, all these news outlets have to defend democracy. And when they screw up, admit it. But when Benjamin Hall, the Fox correspondent, was wounded in Ukraine, the news crews at CNN and the New York Times stopped what they were doing, and they tried to help. They tried to help him get out of the country. They tried to find the dead crew members. That's what news outlets do. That's how they actually do work together, to your question about sharing those kinds of connections and trust. We don't talk about it enough, though. We don't share that reality about how that happens. And with regards to the regime, I think you mean the President Biden. The last time I spoke with a Biden aide, we yelled at each other. So that's the reality of the news business that people don't see, that people don't hear. They imagine that it's a situation that simply is not. But I think your question, it speaks to the failure of journalism to show our work and show the reality of how our profession operates. We have a lot of work to do, I think.
I'm Daniel Schmidt. I'm a freshman at the University of Chicago. My question is for Ms. Applebaum. So in 2020, you wrote, "Those who live outside the Fox News bubble do not, of course, need to learn any of the stuff about Hunter Biden," referring to his laptop, of course. A poll later after that found that if voters knew about the content of the laptop, 16% of Joe Biden voters would have acted differently. Now, of course, we know a few weeks ago, the New York Times confirmed that the content is real. Do you think the media acted inappropriately when they instantly dismissed Hunter Biden's laptop as Russian disinformation? And what can we learn from that in ensuring that what we label as disinformation is truly disinformation and not reality?
My problem with Hunter Biden's laptop is I think totally irrelevant. I mean, it's not whether it's disinformation or, I mean, I don't think the Hunter Biden's business relationships have anything to do with who should be president of the United States. So I don't find it to be interesting. I mean, that would be my problem with that as a major news story.
All right, now that people have seen this ridiculous, I mean, the clip, sorry, it's not ridiculous because his question was spot on. And oftentimes at these things, people like give statements but not really a question or just a lame question. No, this guy combined his examples and statement into the most appropriate question to the most appropriate man at the most appropriate event. Disinformation and the erosion of democracy. That was the event. And man, Brian Stelter's response it didn't disappoint, huh? It didn't disappoint.
No, as always, the egg has it was sunny side up. It was it was
I mean,
for sure, it was amazing. I mean, the kid asked the question and with examples and all that, and his answer, which it was, by the way, I don't know, where did I read about this? I think it's a PR tactic or something, that you basically you pivot, you accept the premise of the question, but then you answer some other question, which is basically what he did, because he basically
first he made a joke. First he did a joke. It's lunchtime.
Lunchtime, like it's well, okay, fair enough. But no, I mean, he didn't even accept the premise of question. I'm sorry. He just he says basically that I don't accept that. He says that. I mean, he gave so
he
many
literally
examples.
said, I know, but he said you're watching a different channel as me.
Different channel. Yeah. So there is but I mean, the best part in my view was when he said that, and I'm gonna come to talk to you privately after that.
Don't.
Sounded like a threat. Yeah. Me and all the king's forces are gonna come. And
because, there are no details to talk about. And no, B, I want to talk to you in this platform. You're sitting up there on a panel and ask you a question, and there's 30 seconds on the official time left. So you can also probably go over 1 or 2 minutes. No, don't talk to me later. I don't want you to come at lunchtime. And what are you whisper in my ears the right answer? Just say it right.
I'll give you a clue. But I can't tell you.
He wanted to say, like, this is the kind of answer where, like, in other cases, like military would say, oh no, that's like secret high-tech information. If I let you know the answer, like 10 soldiers are gonna die. You're like, why would this? I didn't ask you to tell me where these soldiers are. Why would it lead to that? But he couldn't point to that, so he had to come up with some other bullshit.
But the biggest bullshit in it though was when he talks about he goes going back to, by the way, he doesn't, again, maybe I think everybody has a serial killer vibe, but again, him with his eyes and just doing this, again, going back to your question, it shows that why can't we reflect the unity that is within news organizations, because one of Fox News people was shot and the CNN news host immediately didn't abandon him to be eaten by wolves. So I was like, yes, look at how good we are. There was a Fox News host shot and about to die. We didn't leave him, we didn't abandon him to be tortured or anything.
I mean, that example had nothing to do with journalism. I mean, I'm glad, but that has nothing to do with journalism. It's someone like saying, oh, Kam and Sam have a really shitty show or something like that, but hey, Kam takes care of his dog halfway through the show. He takes okay, it still doesn't change the fact that Kam and Sam have a shitty show. I'm glad that he also attends to his dog.
It's even worse. That's like a routine activity. It's like saying that Kam and Sam's show is terrible, it's awful and all that. But I heard like Kam once helped Sam move. Like, true friendship there. Okay.
I'm glad.
But the story, the forum, I showed you a video later on. Another favorite of ours, the lady, I've read a couple of stuff to you from her on Anne Applebaum, massive neocon. No, well, she thinks she's a liberal.
Yeah.
But
her name is so familiar, just gonna put a face to it as well. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, she was in the video as well. She's later.
Of course.
Somebody asks her about Hunter Biden and stuff.
Yeah.
That laptop and stuff that she dismissed 2 years ago, and now it's been confirmed to be real. And she's saying that, oh no, I didn't dismiss it, as in it's not real. I just don't think it matters. Kind of like do you remember the Democratic strategist on the Hill was saying that Hunter Biden thingy has nothing to do with the president's son can do business as independent person. What are you talking about? He's an adult. He doesn't.
Except he's not acting independently. That's kind of.
Well, yeah, and there is increasing, like, messages are being leaked and text messages in which.
And of course, it's not the world's biggest story. They did turn it into a big story by literally preventing people from sharing the story.
Yeah, sharing it. Yeah. And the Hill had one of our favorites from TYT, John Iadarola.
Oh yeah. What was the story? I listened to it, but then it
John
was on the Black Lives Matter
Iadarola.
thing.
John is a whore. No, sorry. No, it was it was about it was
The
about
Black
the
Lives Matter
Lives.
thing.
Yeah, you're right. It was about the Black Lives Matter thing, but they also, I think, mentioned the Hunter Biden thing in there.
Yeah, perhaps. I didn't listen to
I
it
think
too
so. The
closely
lady, I think,
'cause he's there.
yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, coming
Yeah.
back to this clip, like nobody should ever be scared of being asked a question and they won't know the right answer. Because from watching all these like videos and clips, all you need to do is have a response. That's it. So like if someone asks you a tough question and you don't know the answer, don't say no comment. Don't say I don't know. Just talk about something. You can talk about chairs. You can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah.
And in most contexts, they're not in a situation to
Family
push back on
history.
you. So, I mean, it's not like this kid, he had the microphone, so he could have maybe, but then people come and take you. So you can just say whatever you want, just like he did. The example that he gave was about like in war, like helping out another person. What? So you just say something. Someone asks you, don't have an answer, just the first words that come to your mouth.
Just tell a joke.
Yeah.
Just do something. Yeah, who cares? No, I agree with you. In media, I agree with you. It's the exact opposite of when you're a politician or to do with law, which even if you're 100% sure you've done the right thing, always no comment.
In law, yeah, but politicians,
there's legal, there's legal, like their activities could be legally.
But that's fine. People accept that.
I don't remember George Bush the father's strategy. I don't remember. I don't recall. No comments.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. Yeah, exactly. Just say something like that. But yeah, that's the best one and that one's genuine, when your lawyers tell you not to speak about something, because then you can just be like, I wish I could tell you this, but my lawyers, they told me it could jeopardize the case. So
so you're worried about how you seem if you just say no comment. It's the lawyers. Well, I would have talked, I swear. Yeah, Yahi, I love to talk to you.
But man,
the lawyer is here.
But CNN,
you definitely have to watch Landscapers. You like that?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to that show. But yeah, CNN, I don't know how far you're gonna go with Brian Stelter and this kind of content.
Please.
And stuff.
Oh, and let me follow up on this story. There's a couple of follow-ups
exactly.
I have. So the student, do you remember the student that went on the thing? He appeared on guess whose show?
Tucker Carlson.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, Christopher Phillips told Fox News' Tucker Carlson about how he had asked the left-wing pundit about his ongoing criticism. No, at one point.
Oh, this pisses me off so much, though. This fucking use of the word left. So unfair.
Phillips. Oh, and then I come up and said, wait a sec. Because I thought he went and talked to him after the show, actually.
That would make sense.
But I can't find
that would be a very big missed opportunity for Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, I don't. The kid.
Although the kid didn't say, he could have also been critical of Fox News, because he says, you criticize Fox News for X, Y, and Z, but you do the same. So it's unclear where the kid stands, really.
Well, probably I would assume he's right wing, but who knows? Like from or right wing publication, but who knows? Yeah, you're right. We don't know. He does mention. Yeah, he doesn't even he says. Yeah, basically you're like CNN. But and in following that, there was also, guess who Brian Stelter had on his show?
This one's a bit more tricky because he could have anyone, like any shit. Give me a hint. Give me a clue.
We just talked about hair.
Pramila Jaipal?
No. Pamela J. No, Ann Applebaum. So after they have the thing, it's like there's so few left. They always have to go on each other's shows and all that. And apparently, the Fox News is reporting that he didn't ask her about the stupid response to the Hunter Biden story. So Fox News is trying to, is going all the way in on this.
Good for
But,
them. I
you know,
mean, they gave
yeah,
him
yeah,
this story,
exactly.
and I mean, sometimes they're right, and I mean, it's not hard to be right when you're criticizing the Democrats and their people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you're this level of like incompetent.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair to him though, what could have he said like in terms of answer that would have been acceptable? Like, yeah, sure.
I think that he
Yes,
could have. I think he
I
could
accept.
have. No, I mean, he can't say not that you were not watching the same channel. All this was bad. I mean, he says, because sometimes he always says, you make mistakes and you have to give an apology. So he could have led with that and then gave like a semi more relevant example instead of like denying what that person has seen and giving an absolutely random example. But easier said than done. So yeah, I mean, actually not easier said than done. I mean, that is kind of easy to do. But yeah, you never know. And he was thinking about lunch. He did have lunch on his mind. He did ask him 30 seconds. He was like, I was about to run to the cafeteria. It's like when you're a kid and you have to run and be the first one at the cafeteria to make sure you get food right away. He seemed like he had that on his mind. Like he was about to get up and sprint before everybody else gets going.
I love it. I don't know if you noticed, but after the event, he gave a huge talking down to the moderator of the event, saying to him, next fucking time when I'm about to go to lunch, don't have to pick up. Just before lunch, don't have me ask controversial questions.
And it seems like it was like a 2 or 3 day event. So yeah, so maybe he had already seen like what the cafeteria offers or the day before he saw what's on the menu for today. So he was like, I gotta get there before they run out of the mashed potatoes. I don't know what.
I was gonna ask you, do you think he's allowed to eat eggs, or is that cannibalism in his case? Like, does it count as, is he eating his own babies?
I don't know why, but I feel like he eats a lot of mashed potatoes. I don't know why. It just goes with it.
He eats a lot for sure, but we don't know exactly. Oh man, he's a fun guy, isn't he?
And a young chap too, man. He's like 36, although he tries to make himself look like he's like 90. I mean, he is going bald. That's not his fault, but I feel like still he brings his legitimacy through that, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, when I found out he's 36, he has personality, mind, and looks of an 8-year-old. Like it is 8-year-old that had so many plastic surgeries. It's like he's so white, and I love that. Yeah, that's just your theory explains everything now to me. This whole thing. The reason why he was like trying to get out and talking nonsense. He was just. Yeah, and this and that.
He's seen people walk already going there from
the canteen is open. Yes, we are bad. I don't know. Just give me the ham. Just give me the ham.
Seriously, you don't want to be left with the vegetables or something. It's like, I swear, you go late, they only have carrots and green peas.
Man, you're in boarding school. I hate it when like you arrive late and they had like pizza or something and it's finished, So I think he was worried about that.
I never went to boarding school. I don't think I would survive food wise, but at the cafeteria I used to sprint to the cafeteria to get food. So that's why I like.
The worst thing is one of our we had 2 hour of lunch thing, but it was like in one of the periods we used to have classes. So, like, if you had classes in the first one, you were basically screwed because only the second one was empty.
That's a very unjust school, I would.
Yeah, I agree. I raised this couple of times. They told me to shut the fuck up.
No, but seriously.
Yeah, I agree.
What kind of totalitarian school are you attending here?
I know. Because boarding schools are usually modeled after Mao's sort of agricultural policy, where prisoners were sent to. That's boarding schools, especially in Britain, are very same model, same sort of system.
Yeah, no, that seriously, I think unfair. I think that's the word to use. But I guess life's not fair. They were teaching you guys early.
Yeah.
Life's not
Yes. You don't get pizza every day. No.
But yeah, I hope he still managed to get a good lunch. And he didn't go and talk to that poor guy. That guy's asking, there's a reason why you're in that panel, to get a response from you in public, not for you to like write me an email later on. It's like, no.
Yes. Do you want to be friends? Do you want to be friends? Do you want to be on Facebook? I'll explain it in a personal letter on your birthday. But very fun guy.